Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another broadcast from where I sit. I'm your host, Dr. C. We want to apologize straight up front here because we haven't been on in quite some time. And one of the main reason is that Dr. C has some great projects that he's working on that are coming into fruition right now. And we'll share a screen with you to show exactly what we are up to. And we are obviously going to ask for your support. And the reason why we're going to do that and the reason why we're working on these projects is because we want to add to the body of knowledge in terms of the projects we're working on. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get straight to it because I want to show you. I'm very excited to show you exactly what we're doing here. Okay. So let's go ahead and advance our screen. There we are. So before we get straight to it, we're going to go ahead through our contents here to kind of let you know what we're going to be talking about in today's broadcast. Obviously, I already mentioned that we're going to talk about the new projects that I have working and that are coming out right now. We'll show you where you guys can follow me and join me in any kind of conversations talking about the various projects or anything else that you might want to talk about. And then we're going to get into the nitty gritty of what's happening in the world today. And of course, one of those is, uh, I'm just going to come right out and say it, that who killed the Pope? Well, we already know who did that. It was JD Vance. Of course, we're playing, we're doing some making some jokes here, but honestly, I think that there is a main reason why JD Vance he's being blamed for this. So we're going to go ahead and explain what we think about that. We'll talk about what's happening in the news. Right? They had the Pope's funeral yesterday, and it. I just don't know how else to say it. That it is just a huge disappointment that we have this regime in power representing the United States of America on the global stage. It is a joke. These people are an embarrassment to the rest of the world. And they are flat out laughing at us. Okay. I mean, it's just that's all there is to it. We got hope is spreading. We'll talk about that and we'll talk about the various things that you can participate in, right? And we'll also share with you what we believe that the Black community, of which we all belong to, including Dr. C, we'll talk about what our community, the Black community, can do to contribute to getting this regime moved from power. And that really is the final goal, to get this regime removed from power. And there are some things that we can do to make sure that that happens. And of course, we'll finish up the broadcast, thanking you for joining us, and of course, we'll reiterate, where you can join me and follow me and all this other kind of stuff. And I definitely would like to hear from you, our listeners. So because every time we do a broadcast, we want to hear from you once we put everything up on YouTube, etc. So there is plenty of platforms where you can interact with me, Dr. C. All right. So let's get straight to it. Dr. C uh, is in the process of publishing a number of books. The first book, which is a republish, touched by yours truly, Dwayne C. Scott. That's where Dr. C comes from. Originally, I had published this book back in 2003, but since then, the publisher who I had published the book with had gone out of business. And for the most part, this particular book, Touched, has been out of print for a while. But just kind of messing around in the World Wide Web, I saw that this book was still for sale in certain circles, and it was astonishing for me to see that because people who are buying and selling the book and I am getting no royalties for it. So that's why I decided to go ahead and get it republished with Amazon Publishing. That's right, Amazon publishes books now, and we went on ahead and got it republished here in this past couple of weeks. It's been on the market for I would say probably about 10 days now. You could go and purchase this book at on Amazon.com. You can get it into Kindle. You can get it on the Kindle digitally, and of course, you can get this book in a paperback as well. Now, me personally, uh, I'm an old school kind of guy. I like to have the book in my hand, and so I would recommend buying a paperback if you're an older person like I am. You like to have the feel of that book in your hand and take it with you to wherever you were going to read it, and you could definitely do that. But it is also available in Amazon.com Kindle, and the price for the Kindle version and the paperback version are extremely reasonable. Please go out and get your copy today and share this information with everybody that you could possibly think of. Now, the other thing that you need to know about Touched is that it is a collection of erotic love poetry written by yours truly, Dr. C. Yes, I think that this book is outstanding. And if you guys are having a difficult time of trying to woo somebody from the opposite sex, this book will help you do exactly that. Don't want to toot my own horn, but yeah, that's what it'll do for you. Anyway, get on out, purchase the book. It's in paperback or a digital form. And for those of you who live in the Atlanta metro, we are going to make arrangements with various local bookstores where we could do book signings and book readings for you guys to help promote Touched by Dwayne C. Scott. Go to your local bookstore or go onto Amazon.com and see if you can get the bookstore, or if you want to get the digital copy, go ahead to Amazon.com and pick it up for yourself. That's Touched. Um, the other thing I wanted to make sure that I told you guys that we do have a lot of other projects that are going to be coming out in terms of poetry and collection of essays, etc. We have Touched. We have another title that's going to be coming out hopefully really soon called Touched Again. And then we have, I keep saying we, but Dr. C himself, because he's the one writing all the books. Do have another project called The Accounting that's going to be coming out, and it's going to be another good one. So look for those books to be hitting the market probably by the end of the year. And then the other book that I really, really want to talk about, and this is the reason why you see the truck here, and this is the emoji or the cartoon character of Dr. C. I also wrote a children's book called Trucking Across America. Now, this project I am extremely proud of. I believe that this sucker is going to be a bestseller. Not saying that Touch won't be either, but this is the one that I'm really focused on, Trucking Across America, and this is the one that I'm very excited about getting out on the market. And it is a children's book for grades first grade through fifth grade for elementary students. I taught elementary school for several years, so I kind of know where we're going with this. And Trucker Man, which is this character right here, and Diesel, which is this big old red guy right here, are your two main characters in the book, and they're going to take the kids across America, telling them about the wonders of the United States of America and teaching them along the way about the various states, landmarks, attractions, etc., etc. It's going to be a fun book to read, and yes, the kids are going to learn a lot about their great country. And the other reason why I'm very excited about getting this book out is because I do believe that we can go ahead and get this book carried for by a number of school districts in the state of Georgia. And we're pretty excited about being able to partner with the various school districts in the state, starting with Gwinnett County, which is where I live and where I taught. So we're excited about that. And yes, this book is going to be available in paperback and is going to be available digitally, and we're going to make it available on Audible. In fact, we're going to make all of these projects available on Audible eventually throughout the year. That's Trucking Across America, and this particular project is actually going to be more than just one launch of one book, Trucking Across America. We actually have an enterprise going here. Dr. C, that's me, is writing a number of follow-up books to Trucking Across America, where we're going to be trucking across each state. I just completed Trucking Across Alabama. I am working on Trucking Across Georgia and Pennsylvania right now. I probably will have those two projects, those two manuscripts completed probably by mid-May. And then we're going to continue on where we're going to write these books for each and every state so that kids in those states can learn what their particular state of where they live has to offer for them. We're going to talk about geography and all this great stuff. They're going to be alerted to the attractions and everything. And the reason why, one of the main reasons why we decided to do this is because we know that a lot of kids do not even get a chance to leave the cities of where they live, or the towns or small cities and small towns of where they live. And more than likely, a lot of them don't even get out of the town that they live in, which means they don't really know what the rest of the country has to offer. Well, this is going to not only pique their interest in terms of the country, but it will also pique their interest and their parents' interests about the states of where they live. That is Trucking Across America. As soon as we get closer to where this is going to get launched, and I believe it's going to happen in probably in the next 10 days, because all we're working on is the cover, the front and back cover. And this book will be ready for launching. So you guys look out for that. If you want to learn a little bit more information now, of course, the last time I tried to record this, when I clicked on ChristopherStudios.net, it came up, but it wasn't recorded. So if you're watching this video, once we get it on to YouTube and various other platforms, if you want to learn more about the projects that we have coming out, definitely get on to www.ChristopherStudios.net. And if you would like to follow us, you can follow us on Blue Sky, which is right here. And you can also follow us and interact with Dr. C on Blue Sky and Instagram. We'll add more social media platforms as we progress, but you could definitely reach out to me and interact with me, ask me questions, whatever you want to talk about in terms of these projects or any of the videos that we have released in the past on Blue Sky, Dr. 050658.bluesky.social. And Instagram, at author12025. That's Dr. C on Blue Sky and Instagram. So those are the projects that we are working on, and I'm very, very excited about getting these projects out to the public so that they can hopefully enrich themselves with my creativity that I would like to share with all of you. Okay, so that's the new project. So let's move on to our next thing. And here we are. Who killed the Pope? Who killed the Pope? Now, of course, I've been online. I've been kind of researching all of the different videos and still frames about this meeting that JD Vance had with Pope Francis. And of course, if you don't know this already, right after this meeting with J.D. Vance, Pope Francis died. And yes, a lot of people are making fun of the moment, which I think is kind of bad because this was a serious thing. That right after he meets with J.D. Vance, the Pope dies. Now, at first, the Pope did not want to meet with J.D. Vance. He actually sent his cardinal, who is the Secretary of State. Yes, the Vatican City is a separate state, like Ukraine or France or whatever. And Pope Francis conducted his Secretary of State, a cardinal, to meet with J.D. Vance and to reprimand J.D. Vance in the Trump administration. And that's exactly what this cardinal did. However, J.D. Vance insisted upon the fact that he still wanted to meet the Pope because J.D. Vance claims that he just converted to Catholicism. And of course, that's what he claims. We're not going to doubt that fact. But, the man is evil, y'all. I'm just going to just put it out there. The man is evil. He's part of a very, very evil regime. They are willfully cruel to everybody that they interact with, and the interaction between the Pope and J.D. Vance is no different than the cruelty that they are spreading around the globe. He insisted upon meeting the Pope. The Pope only met him for a few minutes, and in those few minutes, he also reprimanded J.D. Vance personally for their cruelty, especially when it comes to migrants. And right after this meeting, the Pope dies. Yes, the Pope dies. And as a result of this tragedy, the Dalai Lama decided that he wasn't going to meet with J.D. Vance, and he was scheduled to meet with him too. And he says, "I'm not meeting with this clown. I am not meeting with him." He said so quietly, but you can get the idea that nobody wants to spend any time anywhere near J.D. Vance. And the reason why I believe that nobody wants to be anywhere near J.D. Vance is because I believe J.D. Vance is surrounded by demons. Now, of course, you don't have to believe in that or not. I do. I believe there is evil in the world, and there are evil forces that cause evil people to do evil things. J.D. Vance stands for nothing except for power for himself. He has latched upon the Trump regime, which is hell bent in turning our democracy into a dictatorship. And J.D. Vance is one of the major players in their efforts to do so. And for that reason alone, that is the reason why I say that J.D. Vance is surrounded by demons. And if you take a look at this picture where Pope Francis is looking at him, he is startled to a certain degree. Now, Pope Francis is a holy man. He's a very popular pope that we've had. He's quite popular amongst the masses, both Catholics and non-Catholics alike. And he is startled by what he is seeing in terms of what is around J.D. Vance. And I believe J.D. Vance is surrounded by demons, and that is the reason why the Pope is dead today. And they had their funeral yesterday, and the cardinal that was doing the homily or hominy or whatever they call it, okay, came out and reprimanded Donald Trump to his face at the funeral. Make no mistake about it, that the whole planet is displeased, and I'm putting that mildly. I'm putting it mildly, that the whole world is displeased with the Trump regime and everybody in it. And of course, we'll finish up with my nice little cartoon here. By the way, this is a cartoon of Faust. That's the original cartoon of signing his soul over to the devil for whatever Faust wants, and more than likely it's power. Well, this is JD Vance, as you can see with the beard, signing his soul over to the devil. And in effect, that is exactly what he's done to get a chance at the big time. I will finish off with this particular slide to say this. Donald Trump is dangerous, but the person who's more dangerous than him is JD Vance. He's younger, with more energy. He's, I would say, semi-intelligent. Yes, he has a degree from, I think, Yale University, law degree from Yale, but he's dumb. You know, you really are a dumbass person if you sell your soul to the devil for some power. That's just dumb. Okay. And he is more dangerous, in my opinion, than Donald Trump. We need to watch out for him. And that's exactly what I'm saying right now. All right, so that's JD Vance. He killed the Pope. And let's move on to the news. Here we are. So, as a lot of you have been reading and listening and watching, Trump has basically caved on everything, especially his tariffs. He has gotten rid of all of the tariffs that he put on the whole world, and he caved. He caved to China. He caved to Canada. He caved to everybody, y'all. He literally caved to everybody. And why did he cave? It's because Donald Trump is weak. He's weak, and he's a moron. He's a buffoon. He is a dummy, okay? And he's weak. He is nothing that he says he is. He's no deal maker. He's no, very successful businessman. He's none of that. He's not even a very successful president. And this is his second time going around, and his poll numbers are flat out plummeting. They are plummeting. The whole regime's approval ratings are tanking. It is a matter of time before Pete Hegseth, who is the defense secretary, is relieved of his duties because he's a dummy, because he keeps putting all of these meetings on Signal and putting people into the meetings with him who do not have security clearances. I mean, go figure. Okay. Elon Musk. Oh, poor Elon. Elon, I'm going to get, I tried to give you advice at first, and I'm going to give you more advice again. Elon, go back to Tesla and try to save your company. And try to repair your reputation by keeping your head down and staying off of X, Twitter, or whatever you want to call it. In fact, I would make the argument that you just need to sell X. Get rid of it. The reason why you, Elon, has been destroyed is because you aligned yourself with Trump and the Trump regime. Donald Trump destroys everyone that is in his orbit. And the closer you are to that dark sun, the faster you are going to be destroyed. And Elon Musk was the satellite closest to that evil. And he's being destroyed as a result. Also, keep in mind, all of these tech bros that they call them, all of them, their companies and their businesses are also being destroyed because of all of the idiocy that Donald Trump has tried to institute with these dumb tariffs, right? And by the way, they rightfully deserve to be destroyed. Why? Because they are trying to institute an oligarchy where they and they alone have all the power. And the American people just simply are not going to stand for it. And that's the reason why these clowns are being destroyed. Okay. We already know that J.D. Vance is a murderer. He murdered the Pope. I'm surprised that somebody hasn't launched an investigation. Why hasn't the Vatican launched an investigation in terms of what happened between Pope Francis and J.D. Vance? Vatican, just in case you're listening and you're watching, I think you should actually do that. The economy is, and I don't really want to say this because I hope that it doesn't happen, but all of the damage has already been done. The United States economy is more than likely going to go into a recession. Y'all better hope that it doesn't just go into a recession, that it doesn't go into a depression. And with the chaos in the uncertainty of Trump himself, because you never know what he's going to do. You know, it's all about how he feels or who he talked to in a moment that he does stuff. He doesn't have a real plan to save the country, which doesn't need saving. The country was fine when he took office, especially the economy. I mean, the prices were coming down, right? I mean, he willfully blew up everything. And you never know what he's going to do from day to day. And for that, that's the reason why we're going to hit a recession. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'll be ready for a recession. But the one thing that I think is worth your attention moving forward is, what is China going to do? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a real big fan of China and Chinese politics, right? But I am interested in what is their next move. And I can tell you right now, they are ascending in this calamity. And the reason why is because they're taking advantage of the stupidity of Donald Trump and his regime. And they're going to take control. By the way, just in case you don't know this, South Korea has aligned itself with China. Japan has aligned itself with China. The EU is working on economic deals with China. The Canadians are selling energy to China. Mexico is working on coming up with another transportation corridor that would rival, that would rival the Panama Canal with China. And while they're doing all of this, we, the United States of America, under Trump and his regime, are literally imploding, and we are not going to gain that power back. And the reason why we're not going to gain that power back is because half the country voted for this clown. You guys did not listen to reason. You did not do your homework before you voted for the devil. And for that reason, that is why all of us are suffering. And if things continue the way that they are, and we do not stop it, it's going to affect the whole globe to the point where the United States of America is nothing more than a pariah to everyone else. In other words, nobody can trust us to do the right thing. And I, straight up, don't blame them. So keep an eye on China. Let's move on. Now, of course, I did say that hope is spreading. And there is reason for hope, right? we've had a couple of really big protests. We had the hands off protest earlier in this month. We had the 50-51 protest, which was about a week and a half ago. And these protests were big all over the country. Large cities, large towns, small towns, villages. Even in Alaska, they came out and protested all over my beloved state of Alaska. Rachel Maddow, who is one of the people that I watch because she's really does some great reporting, and with Joy Reid no longer at MSNBC, she's the only one that I trust. Okay, and she did a story on Alaska. It was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal story. Anyway, hope is spreading, guys. Now, if only we can get our congressional leaders to impeach Donald Trump. And by the way, when I say impeach Donald Trump, I don't mean just him. I think Donald Trump and JD Vance needs to go. Yes, the third one, if they both got impeached, the third person who was in power would be Mike Johnson. And Mike Johnson's weak too. And by the way, Republicans, ruby red districts, are appalled at what is happening, and they are demanding their leaders to act. Now, they haven't done so just yet, but I do believe it is coming. That is why I am hopeful. We, the American people, just have to keep it up. All right. Keep protesting, y'all, and join in if you want to. And that also goes for my beloved African American community as well. So we're going to go on to that. So, what can the Black community do? So, I watched a segment on Don Lemon's podcast, and he was talking about the reason why Black Americans are not protesting. And one of the main themes of what he was talking about is that we are getting sick and tired of having to save the democracy. And then once it gets saved, we get nothing out of it. That's the reason why we're not out there with you guys. Now, of course, eventually, I believe that Black Americans do need to get involved. And because, Black Americans are leaders in this country. We are leaders in for advocating for what is right. That's why we're leaders. That's why we are leaders in defending democracy and fighting for it. But this time around, we were stabbed in the back. I mean, this is a collective thought, you guys. Collectively, Black Americans believe that we were stabbed in the back by certain constituencies that said that they were going to support Kamala Harris and then did not do it. I'm talking about white women. And I'm talking about Latino men. You guys betrayed everybody, not just Black folks, not just Latino women. You betrayed everybody. And what are you getting for it? Absolutely nothing. Latino men are being deported. White women white men are poised to take your rights away, your right to vote. They want to take it away from you. They want to take it away from all women. Okay? You not only betrayed the Black community, but you betrayed yourself in voting for this regime. Okay? So here's what Black Americans, I believe, should be doing. Stay the course in your protests against Target, Walmart, and other retailers. By the way, that is working. The CEO wanted to meet and met with Al Sharpton to try and get Black people to come back to the store. going to work on Walmart and various other retailers as well. Keep it up. Keep your Black dollars in your Black community. I've been advocating that for years. Everybody else does it. The Latino community keeps their dollars in the Latino community. The Asian community keeps their dollars in the Asian community. We need to do the same. Okay? We need to do the same. So, yes, focus inward, brothers and sisters. Support each other. Support each other's businesses. Keep your dollars in your local Black community, wherever it is. Okay? We need to support each other. That's the only way we become stronger. Okay? Third, to get involved with all other protests when you are comfortable. I think that you should be comfortable right now. I think these protests are going to continue. They are going to get bigger and bigger. And yes, I believe that we need to get involved, but not just get involved, but get involved peacefully. These protests have been peaceful. So get involved peacefully. Okay, if you want to get involved, get involved. My fourth point, do not forget that Trump was inflicted upon us by white voters and those wishing proximity to whiteness. And yes, they are the ones who need to fix this problem. And if you know white folks in your circle, you need to let them know that again and again. Don't blame us for not participating. We voted, the Black community, overwhelmingly voted for Harris and Walz. We did not vote for this. Y'all voted for this, which means you need to fix it. And when I say proximity to whiteness, we're talking about the South Asian community, parts of the Asian community, and we already mentioned Latino men, right? There are a lot of people in these communities that have switched sides and voted for Trump, and now they are regretting it. Then you need to fix this problem. My last point up here is eventually, guys, my Black brothers and sisters, forgive these folks from these communities, as Jesus would say. But unlike Jesus, I would tell you to never, ever forget. Never, ever, ever forget. You can forgive, but boy, you better not forget. And those are our 5 points for the Black community. And that is the end of our broadcast. We want to keep it short and sweet. And like I said, I did apologize that we were away for quite some time, but Dr. C's been working hard in getting these books out on the market. And I hope hope and pray that you share these books with others and that you go out into the market and make a purchase of your own. We have Touched out there. It's available on Amazon.com as a paperback, and you can also go into Kindle and download that copy as well, which, by the way, happens to be really reasonable. Okay, so we hope and pray for your support, and we will definitely be back on next week with a new broadcast, because guess what? There's a lot to talk about. Keep your heads up, my beautiful Black brothers and sisters, and Black power to all of you. And we will see you on the air next week.